So again, this is making a smooth transition to CCS, the transfer student edition. So I'm assuming most of you guys are transfer students, but even if you're not, the information is very, very similar to coming in as a first year student. So hopefully you guys will be able to see or get that information. So hold on, there we go. What we're going to cover tonight are several different things: communication and the portals that are available to you, laptop requirements, supplies, art supplies, books. We're going to talk about updated transcripts, final transcripts, your schedule and transfer credits, a little bit about new student orientation and welcome week, housing, move in, managing your time and well-being, which is a very important part of the whole college process, and also a few transfer student tips. So again, if you have questions as we go through, please feel free to put them in the chat. And we definitely will make sure that those get answered. Either Russell or myself or Katie, when she is able to join us, we will make sure we get all your questions answered tonight. So first and foremost, you should hopefully already have this information. And I hope that you guys have been checking your portal. But when you're accepted to CCS, you got your CCS ID, login, and password. You can use that to access your CCS email account. Hopefully you have already been checking that, because that is what the admissions office and the registrar's office and academic advising, that is where they're going to be sending everything you need. So information on orientation, on housing move-in, all that kind of stuff, that is all going to that CCS email. So if you're not already checking that, it is now time to start doing that. And I would say at least a few times a week, just to make sure that you're staying on top of everything. The access manager, when you log in, when you log in, looks like this, and this is your portal. And again, you can access your email account here, your calendar. There's a few other things here that we will talk about. The academic calendar is here as well. Self-service, those are all things, oops, sorry about that. Those are all things that you will be able to access, and they'll have information. So again, the CCS email is your primary communication between the staff on campus, the faculty, the different campus offices. There is a weekly student email that gets sent out from Katie's office with all kinds of information about events on campus, happenings, things you can do, things you can get involved with. Peacock Pride is a wonderful resource for our students. It is a campus-wide portal for connections to events, organizations, to leadership, and different involvement opportunities. So if you want to join a student group, that is where you're able to do that. If you need information about how to contact an office, you can reach that also through Peacock Pride. But that is kind of your one-stop connection to everything CCS when you're a student. So you definitely want to make sure, again, that you're checking your email and looking for those, looking at that portal resources. And then just to sort of give you an idea, obviously the Gmail, Peacock Pride, I just said, connect to student organizations. Self-service here is going to be, you can update your contact info. You will see your class schedule. You'll see your tuition bill, your financial aid package. That is also where you'll see your parent proxy, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the patron portal right above that, PP, that is where you can go as a student to borrow equipment or reserve a studio space. You might not use that a lot in your first year, but it's something that will be there as a resource for you. Again, in self-service, you can definitely review your financial aid package. I'm assuming a lot of you have probably already done that, but if not, that is where you'll find the details. You also will see your tuition bill and the due dates for it. So make sure that you review that and understand what that means, understand what is due, when it's due. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to your admissions counselor and we can point you in the right direction. If it's a specific billing question, you can reach out to the business office. But you can always start with your admissions counselor. We're happy to point you in the right direction. Now, you can also establish proxy access for a parent or guardian. So if you have someone in your life that you want to be able to access information, to see your tuition bill, to help you pay your tuition bill. We have to have their contact information in our system. So you can do that through self-service, or you can get your parent or guardian name and contact information to your admissions counselor, and we can update your records. You can also use self-service to establish direct deposit payments. So if you want to, make your tuition payments by direct deposit, that is very doable. There's an option as well to do a payment plan, and that is something that you can find out more information about there as well. So the other half of the portal looks like this. You can see all of the campus office contacts here, phone numbers, emails for any office on campus. So that's a great resource. Canvas is going to be the system that you will use with your classes. Your faculty is going to use Canvas for your syllabus, for your class. That's where they will put a material list for classes, specific assignments. Any communication from your teachers is going through Canvas. So again, that's something that once you start in the fall, you will get really very used to checking on a regular basis. Handshake is a platform where you can connect to our career development office, and it's a great place to look for on-campus jobs, or jobs off campus, part-time jobs, internships. It can help with resume building, anything like that. So that's a great resource as well. If you need IT help, the help desk, you submit a ticket, they will reach out to you there. And then campus alerts, I do recommend signing up for. This is where you will put in, say, your phone number, and if there is an emergency or a closure on campus, like last year we had a couple of weather closures on CCS campus, that will go out through the campus alert system. So that's a really good idea to have your cell phone number in there, and it also will go to your email address, which is your school email. So okay, so again, with Canvas, it's a course management system. So your teachers in every class are going to use that to communicate with you about your classes, about the homework, about the assignments. Again, the syllabi will be listed there. Materials list, this is a question we get a lot this time of year. A lot of them are not posted yet. Same thing with book lists, book requirements for courses. I know a lot of people are chomping at the bit to maybe get some of these things purchased or start to look at what's going to be required. If you haven't seen it yet, don't panic. Some teachers will email them to the students in the class. Others will simply post them on Canvas. There will be other faculty where you will not get the syllabus until the first day of class. So again, do not panic about that if you haven't received that for a particular class. And there will be, plenty of time to purchase any required books or materials, after that first day of class. So don't feel like you have to have every single thing that you're going to need for the entire semester, ready to go that first day. Class schedules. If you have not already, look to your email for an invitation from AARO, which is Academic Advising and Registration Office, to set up an appointment, a Zoom appointment to do your class schedule. There will be a pre-registration survey that you need to complete. They will send that invitation out. If you haven't done it, again, check your CCS email. It may be in there. They are in the process of continually sending those out at this time of year. So what they do is once we send the file over to AARO, they will pre-register you for your classes. And then during that appointment, you guys will sit down, discuss any transfer credit that you might have, and any other like electives or choices that you have to make within that curriculum. We do have some different instructional modes on campus. There's a couple of different ones. We have in-person lectures. We have in-person studio-based courses. And then there are some independent study and or internship programs. Those are usually a little bit later in your curriculum. We also do have some hybrid virtual and in-person courses, and then online hybrids. So, same as a hybrid course. Students meet synchronously through Zoom online. Your courses will tell you, what you are, what what instructional mode your class is in. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words here. So we talked just very briefly about this. Academic advising will go through and pre-register you for your classes. So if you're coming in as a second year transportation design student, there's particular courses that you should be taking. They will pre-register you for those, but then maybe you have transfer credit to take, one of them out, or, there might be electives that you have to choose. That will happen when you sit down and meet with them over Zoom. Your course schedule, again, is on self-service. So you can look at that. The transfer credit evaluation for anything that you might have taken, whether it was during high school, an AP class, or an dual enrollment class, or if it's a community college course that you took after high school graduation, all of that transfer credit evaluation starts in the admissions office with your admissions counselor, and then it is actually officially placed by the registrar. So once your admissions counselor does the transfer credit evaluation, they will send you that and to get an idea, but it's not finalized until it goes to the registrar's office and they do it officially. Russell, did you want to jump into that on for any additional information on that little section that you can add?
Yeah, sure. I would say, getting in your transcripts as quickly as possible is really going to help get you into your courses if you haven't been placed into them already. So any final transcripts really need to be sent over as quickly as possible, because not only does that help you get into courses, but it also may help you meet with your your faculty advisor a little bit quicker, especially for those of you who are in interdisciplinary design. They really look at the courses you've taken to really identify where they can place you. Yeah, so that is super important. And then, yeah, as far as trying to think what else, Patty, what else should I cover here? I know
I
you've
think
gone
that's
through a lot
about
of it.
it. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's about it there. And also
Otherwise,
too,
I'll just keep
once
rambling.
that's okay. Once you guys have your schedule, if there's a change that you want to make or you feel like you need to make, those are always requested through your academic advisor. So you
Yep.
can check, with them on that. So like Russell was just saying, we need a final official transcript or transcripts, depending on your situation. No matter what the situation is, we have to have proof that you graduated from high school. So if you haven't already sent us your high school transcript that shows a graduation date, that definitely needs to come in as soon as possible. And then any college level course you took, if you're transferring from a community college that we're taking classes in this spring, they should be finished now. We need to have those with dates. The due date of July 1st obviously didn't get updated in this slide, so I apologize. But we would like to try to get those in by August 1st at this point, at the latest. So it will take a week or two for us to confirm receipt of those. Your high school ones, again, request it through your high school guidance counselor, Naviance, Parchment, whatever your school used. And then also, or the college registrar at the school you went to. So if you're
If I
transferring
could,
from, oops, sorry, go ahead. Yep,
oh
definitely.
yeah, sorry. If I could add, if you are taking summer courses, you can request your transcripts to be submitted on completion of those courses. It's an option within like Parchment or Student Clearinghouse. But do contact your academic advisor to let them know that you're involved in summer courses. That way they know to look out for them. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely. No, no, thank you. I'm glad you said that. I wouldn't have thought of it. This is another question we get a lot. And what are laptop requirements and or recommendations? The only major that has a specific laptop requirement is our communication design major, and advertising design, if anyone's coming in to either of those majors. There are other recommendations for other majors. It's not a requirement. You do not have to have a laptop to come in unless you are in advertising design or communication design. Um, those are all on our website, those specifics. So check there. If you are thinking of purchasing a laptop and you are not ad design or communication design, I would highly recommend that you wait. for several reasons. You have very good access to the labs we have on our campus, which all have very recent updated hardware. They have the latest and greatest software. You can also, once you are a student at CCS, you can qualify for student discounts on multiple websites. So it might be worth waiting. If you have a computer already and you want to bring it with you, do not go out and purchase, say, Adobe Suite, because you will be able to access that and download that for free once you are a CCS student. So, our AVC, which is our audiovisual center, they have additional equipment that you can check out. If you need a speaker or something, there's things that you can borrow if needed. But I would definitely recommend, if you're not communication design or advertising design, waiting to purchase a new laptop. If you are looking for those, though, those recommendations and the requirements for those two majors are detailed on our website. So feel free to check that out. And again, if you have any problems with that, just reach out to us in the admissions office and we can help you find it. Same thing on art supplies and books. Again, details on these are going to be provided on your class syllabus or posted to the course on Canvas near the start of the semester. I know a lot of students are looking for these now, thinking, oh my gosh, it's starting, in a month or so. They're not all going to be there. I can guarantee you that. If they're not listed, then you'll get that probably the first day of class. So don't panic. Like I said, if you don't see it there, if you really have questions about it or are very, very concerned, you can reach out to the program manager of the department. Again, you can find those contacts on campus offices on the portal. But again, don't panic if it's not there. And also, like I said, if the list is there, don't feel like you have to have every single thing on that list for the first day of classes. I'm assuming, Russell, that we don't have Katie. I didn't see her on there. She was having some issues, technology issues. So
She has
I will,
not been able to get in. Yeah.
that's okay. I will jump in here for you guys. This is where Katie would normally talk, because she's our director of orientation. Um, all sessions for orientation are mandatory for all incoming students, whether you are a freshman, a transfer student, an international student. We require that you do all of them. There is an online pre-orientation that will open on Monday, August 12th. And that is something that will take about 2 to 4 hours. You do it at your own pace, but it must be done before you arrive on campus. So somewhere between August 12th and August 26th, you need to complete that. Again, it only takes a couple of hours, but it is something you can do on your own. Now, there is an on-campus and in-person orientation for all students again on Monday, August 26th. So whether you're living on campus or off, you need to plan on being there for that event, and you will get an invitation to this. They might have already gone out in your CCS email. So if not, look for it in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm not, for some reason, I thought I heard somebody say they were sent out, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, but again, the invitation for that will be, for both of those actually, will be in your CCS email. So again, keep checking that. The first week that you are on campus, whether you are living on campus or you are a commuter student, there are a number of different Welcome Week events that we really encourage you to check out and get involved with. Some of them are ways to learn more about campus and about the CCS experience. Others are ways to learn more about Detroit and this wonderful city that we are part of. And you do not have to be living on campus to participate in most of these activities. So even if you are commuting, we really encourage you guys to think about participating in these as well. And the other thing I would recommend is, even if you are a transfer student, you've already had a first year experience at another college, I still would encourage you to at least check out some of these, because they're going to be very specific to CCS. So for example, on-campus events include things like yoga and fitness classes. They have movie nights, game nights. They do a CCS after dark. There's a Detroit food tour, which I think sounds fun. And then those are kind of on campus. And then off campus trips, they go to Belle Isle. They go over to Eastern Market, which is one of the biggest and oldest farmers markets in the country. They take you to Garden Bowl, which is a really cool older bowling alley. Campus Martius downtown was just voted one of the best, what was it, outdoor spaces or parks in the country. And it's right in the middle of downtown Detroit. So again, ways to sort of learn about the campus, but also learn about Detroit as well. The Meet and Eat Student Resource Fair, we strongly recommend everybody attend. This will be the evening of that new student orientation on Monday, August 26th. So you have orientation during the day and the Meet and Eat Resource Fair. They will have tables for a bunch of different campus offices, for a lot of community resources, and also different student organizations that you can get involved with and find out more about. They will have local food trucks there with all different kinds of food. Last year, that was one of the highlights, was all of the different food choices that were available for that fair. So again, we highly recommend that you plan to attend that, whether you're an on-campus student or a commuter student. And then campus tours will be available during the week, during welcome week. If you are interested, maybe the tour, maybe you've never been on a tour, or maybe the tour that you took was 2 years ago or something, 3 years ago. It's always great to sort of take an official tour to sort of orient yourself to the space. And even if you did take a tour a year or two ago, just to sort of look at it with, different eyes of a student, now you're attending the college, right? So it might be helpful to do that again. So sign up will be available during that pre-orientation period, and it'll be on that Peacock Pride portal. So, and again, all of these activities are open to both on-campus resident students and commuter students. We do offer a really good parent and family orientation. If your parents or guardians are interested, it will be led by our Dean of Students, Dan Long, and it is live via Zoom on Sunday, August 18th at 7 o'clock. It will be recorded as well. So if your parent is interested but unable to attend that day, we can send that to them. In order to get an invite for this, we need to make sure that we have your parents' contact information. So full name, email, and phone number by August 1st. You can either do it in self-service and update that, or send it to your admissions counselor, and we can make sure that it gets updated. So if we have the parent information in your record, we will automatically send an invite to them for this event. So I do recommend it. Again, they can ask questions. It's a great resource for them to kind of understand, how everything is starting at CCS. Housing and move-in. If you are going to be an on-campus student, move-in is Sunday, August 25th by appointment. We do ask you to stick to that appointment that you scheduled for a couple of reasons. That, if you schedule an appointment at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but decide to show up at 10 o'clock in the morning, we will be stretched a little bit thin with resources, because they have CCS students to help you move in. We have bins to help you, roller bins, trays to help you move things. We want to be able to assist students, and it also helps the traffic flow a little bit. So we do recommend making an appointment that works for you and trying to stick to that time. If you are an international student by any chance, their move-in date is actually Saturday, August 24th. They get to move in a date early. You will get some information on what to bring, what not to bring. You can actually access that now on our website under housing. There's a document there that talks about what you can bring, what's included in the rooms, and what not to bring as well. So if you have any questions about that, refer to that document on our website under the housing section. And then we do recommend that you try to connect with your roommates before you arrive on campus, if possible. That information is available on the Mercury app, and can also be found and the Mercury app can be found in your Access Manager again. So this resource here, the Life at CCS tab on our website, has all of those details, all of that information that you are able to access. And again, if you're looking for the Mercury app, that's where you filled out the housing application. You can access that in your portal under the Access Manager. New this year, your student ID is actually going to be available to you right when you come to campus. So you have to fill out a form before you arrive. You will send the form and a headshot that will be used for your CCS ID card. So the idea is that it will streamline that orientation slash move-in process on that Sunday and Monday. In the past, there's been very long lines to get student IDs because they can only take the pictures so quickly and print those so quickly. But this way, they'll be able to have them done ahead of time. So you'll get the form in your email, again, your CCS email, fill it out before you arrive on campus and make sure you send that headshot. And then you'll pick up the new ID card when you move in or during orientation if you're a commuter student. Now, you will use your CCS ID throughout your time at CCS. It is required. You will be having it available, usually in view while you're on campus. And it is required for a lot of things. You cannot get into housing without your photo ID. You cannot get into any of our campus buildings without your photo ID. It will be required to ride our shuttles between the Ford and the Taubman Center campus. And if you either live in or have classes in the Taubman Center, you also need it to access the elevators there. So again, it's something that it will be part of your life, while you're a student at CCS, but you will be able to do it ahead of time. You can bring a car or a bike to campus. There's no charge to do that. We just ask that you register either one of those with our campus safety office. So for example, if you bring a car with you, we have two secure parking garages, one at the Taubman Center, one at the Ford campus. And once you register your car with campus safety, they will give you a parking pass that will allow you to park in there. Same thing with your bike. They just want to keep track of, things that belong on campus or maybe don't belong on campus. But again, there's no charge for those. If you require any kind of ADA accommodations. ADA is the Americans with Disabilities Act. There's a great video if you want to scan this QR code about accommodations that are available at CCS, whether it is a housing accommodation or whatever it is. That is something that you would speak to our Dean of Students, Dan Long, about. Again, his contact info is available in the self-service in the in your portal under student offices or campus offices, my apologies. And then also obviously self-disclosure. So, if any of you guys on the call do have or require accommodations and you haven't spoken to Dan yet, I would recommend grabbing this QR code, watching that video, and also reaching out to him as soon as you can. This is another one that Katie usually covers, but I will do my best to fill in. We are a family at CCS, and I've had people ask in the past when I've talked about it, admissions at CCS, can I go into a computer lab 24 hours a day? And I always tell them, no, you can't. But we do that on purpose so that students get sleep. We try to help students learn to take care of themselves as much as take care of their classes. So we have some great resources on campus for students to do that. One of them is our Center for Tutoring and Writing. This is a great resource to help you manage your time to learn new habits or build on maybe some of the positive habits you already have, hopefully. You can work through your schedule. We definitely recommend planning for downtime, planning for work time. You will find out very quickly if you happen to be a procrastinator that does not work very well in art school. You need to make sure that you are planning to complete your homework and your projects not all at once in one 24-hour swoop. It might be something that's going to take you the whole semester to finish. Do not be afraid to ask for help. That is a big, big, big learning curve for a lot of students. But everybody's been in that boat. So for example, in our Center for Tutoring and Writing, we have student peers as well. So these are students who have been in your shoes before. They were new to CCS at some point, and they volunteered their time to maybe help with writing. So, they're there to help you proofread a paper or to help you get started with ideas or whatever, or help you um, maybe better form your ideas, right? That is there. We have a lot of different options for tutoring in every area. Maybe you're just not quite comfortable with something in a class and not feeling like you're not quite understanding it. There is resources for you in all of those. So reaching out to the Center for Tutoring and Writing, is something I would definitely encourage you guys to do. We strongly encourage students also to, again, continue and build positive habits. There are exercise equipment available on campus. They have a number of different fitness classes, like yoga. They offer meditation classes. Healthy eating is strongly encouraged. Sleep is strongly encouraged. Learning to balance work and fun is a tough for some people, but it's a really good part of the college experience and part of the learning process because we want you to be successful too. Managing your well-being, again, is a really important factor for CCS. We have the Wellness and Counseling Office. Again, do not hesitate to reach out if you need any assistance. They have different health and wellness education and events that they do throughout the year. They have virtual and in-person counseling services available. We have therapy dogs on campus weekly. I always look for those. We do not have a nurse on campus anymore, but we have a nurse and Wayne State University Health Center access for our students. If you don't know, Wayne State University is a pretty good sized state college here in Michigan, and they are literally 3 blocks away from our campus. And then the Detroit Medical Center and Henry Ford Hospital are literally within a mile of our campus. So if you require health services of any kind, we will be able to help you get those. So you can feel comfortable with that. Do you want to jump in and do these, Russell? I think you can help with that.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't usually do this, so I'll give it my best here.
I think you
So
can do it.
these are, yeah. Well, I just want to reiterate what Patty was saying is before I get into this is it is like an adjustment to come from a community college or even another university and get adjusted to the workflow at CCS. I know, like as a transfer student, it was really difficult for me that first semester. So definitely take advantage of like everything we have for student assistance. Don't be like ashamed or afraid to like reach out to those places. Definitely like helped me out when I had to transfer myself. Okay, so top 5 transfer student tips that I'm definitely not reading from this directly. Spend time on campus out of class and utilize CCS resources. So we were kind of like talking about this, but CCS is like definitely an adjustment. And it's not the type of school that you are just going to go to class and then sit in your car and wait till your next class or go home. We really want you to spend time here, make work here, get involved with other students, get feedback from them, all sorts of stuff like that. That's really the benefit of coming here. So definitely try to arrange your schedule so that you can stay on CCS's campus and just partake in all that. Definitely get involved in campus activities and groups. This is a great way to make friends. It's also a great way to find people to like collaborate with, to find groups that might help you with like stress. Like if there's a lot of like D&D groups and things like that, and maybe that's a place to get away from studies and get away from the studio for a little while so you can kind of reset, because we don't want you burning out or anything like that. Budget time, number 3, budget time to read important CCS communications. I would just get in the habit of checking your email twice a day, the CCS email twice a day in the morning and the evening. If you want to go beyond that, that's up to you, but definitely try to start your day by checking out those things and just being on top of everything that's happening. And I would start doing that this summer. Like Patty was saying, like you're going to get a lot of communication from us this summer. So start making it a habit now if you can. Excuse me, sorry, fighting off a little summertime cold here. Number two, make FaceTime with your academic advisor, whether that is through virtual meetings or even going to a meeting one-on-one. It's really important to get to know your academic advisor. A little aside, I actually used to be an academic advisor at a different school, and it like the students who didn't show up to their appointments or like didn't make appointments with me really suffered on a lot of the things that we offer, because I was always in the know about different internships that were coming up. I was in the know about like different classes they were going to add the next semester. So if you're not making time to meet with your academic advisor, you can risk potentially like staying an extra semester if you miss out on some things. So definitely like at least meet with them once a semester. And number one, connect with your faculty and program managers early and often. So faculty are here to serve you. Program managers kind of help organize all that. But yeah, definitely like faculty are here because they love to teach and they love to problem solve. So if you have any issues, if you have any questions, if you're struggling in a class, you're struggling with a project, or if you just have some questions, feel free to reach out to them. That's what they're here for. Hopefully I did a good job there, Patty. I don't.
You did an awesome job.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Russell.
Anything I missed, feel free to
Nope, nope, you
throw it in
covered it
there.
all. So, oh, hold on, there we go. I was gonna say my thing is frozen here for a second. So basically, I'm gonna leave this up for a second because it has the admissions email and also our student life email address on there in case you need those. And then I don't know, Russell, if you've been looking at the chat, I'll look at that here in just a second to make sure that we are getting any questions that might be there. And also, too, if there is anyone who has a question that they didn't put in the chat, then you can unmute yourself and feel free to ask Russell and I, and we will try to answer them as best we can. So it looks like I'm just checking the chat really quick about checking if your transcripts were received. Russell answered that. And then, yep, housing. Oh, it looks like most of those are yours. So
Yeah, that's just me
so
phone
nope,
in.
you're good in
Yep.
there. So that is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share then. And is there anyone who has any questions? Whether it's about something we talked about this evening, or anything else to do with starting at CCS this fall, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask. We are more than happy to answer the questions. And I apologize again that Katie was unable to join us. Technical difficulties tonight, but I think I covered her part pretty well. And again, you guys will be getting a lot of contact and a lot of information about upcoming events through that CCS email account. So definitely make sure that you're checking those. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, nobody's jumping in really fast. I think, again, if there's something that comes up after an event like this, reach out to your admissions counselor. We can always point you in the right direction. If it's not an admissions question, but you're not sure who to talk to, I always tell my students, you can reach out to me a year or two after you start at CCS, even though it's not necessarily an admissions question. If you just don't know where to go, please reach out to us so that we can point you in the right direction. And I've been happy that a few of them have taken me up on that over the years, but we're always a good place to start. Again, if you're not sure or you don't know who to talk to, you always can go back to your admissions counselor. We're a family at CCS, so we want you to be part of it. Sam, did you have a question? That will be part of that pre-orientation that you'll do. So that's the virtual online part that you will do. That opens on, and you'll get an email about it. Again, check your email. You'll complete that 2 to 4 hours, it said, beforehand. And as part of that, you will schedule that move-in. Good question. You should be able to see, I believe, who the roommates are in that app on self-service. Sorry, I'm completely blanking on the name of it at the moment. But it's there. If you have any questions about it, you can always reach out to the housing office. But generally, I would start there and see if it should be listed, because I believe it might not be finished yet, but I believe a lot of those assignments have been made. Now there is still space in housing, so it might be that you don't have a roommate, or you have 2 out of 3 or something like that. But generally you should be able to go to, Russell, what is the app? I'm blanking on it. Oh my gosh. Um,
Oh my God.
the housing,
Yeah.
the housing app on there. So Mercury is the
Yeah.
housing app. Sorry. And you should be able to see it on there. So, and again, that's where that contact info will be too, to reach out to the roommates beforehand, before you come to campus.
And things are a little delayed this year, as I'm sure all of you know. So if it's
Yeah,
not there yet, just have patience with us.
very much. So any other questions?
You aren't behind. I wouldn't say your major courses are reserved for you. That's what happens when you deposit. So if you're feeling behind, I don't know if you've been working with me in the past, but feel free to reach out to me and I can figure out kind of where you're at in that process. Um, but yeah, your major courses are reserved. The classes that you're in risk of like missing out on are usually just electives. But right now, because everything's been so delayed this year, due to like a lot of different circumstances, um, I think everyone is still in like pretty good standing. But yeah, depositing means that we're saving you your major courses at the very least, so you should be good.
And I went in ahead and put my email and Russell's email in there. So if you guys are transfer students, you've probably been working with Russell already. If you have questions, you're also welcome to reach out to me as well. But yeah, don't feel like you are behind. Again, start checking your CCS email.
Hmm.
You'll see things in there. If you haven't deposited yet, that's the next step.
Yep, that's a good
After
point.
you're accepted, if you haven't sent that tuition deposit in, because that is what will trigger all of the next steps. So that will trigger us to process your application and get it sent, process any transfer credit, get it sent to the academic advising office for them to register for you for classes. So again, if any of you guys are accepted, but you haven't deposited yet, that is kind of the next step. So if you do still have financial questions, if you've already gotten your award letter from CCS, the details of that, again, are going to be in self-service on the portal. If you have any lingering questions, please feel free to reach out to the financial aid office and talk to them about it, because they are there to help you. They are set up to help you. They have all of the information to best help you with anything on the financial side of it. So, we are going to encourage you to make that decision as soon as you can. Like I said, if you haven't deposited yet, then again, we aren't registering you for classes yet. So that'll be the next step to continue or to do. And you can work with Russell on that. Or again, reach out to me or any of the admissions office. Does anybody have any more questions? That is the best advice. If anybody does have very specific questions about their transfer credit, definitely reach out to Russell and, he can go over it with you. It's also going to depend on the major that you're going into, and where you went, what you took. So again, like he said, everybody is very unique when it comes to transfer. So every situation is different depending on what the students did. So okay, I'm not seeing anybody jumping off there. So please, again, reach out to us if you have questions or concerns. Make sure you're checking your CCS email on a regular basis. And we are very, very excited to greet you on campus this fall and have you join the CCS family. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Russell, for being my co-host. And
Yeah,
we apologize again that poor Katie was not able to join us. I think I did her justice for the information, but keep an eye out for that orientation invitation and more details about move-in and everything in your email.
all right,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.